What's up everyone, Saintsfan back again with this week's episode of the GTA 5 Q&A. We're going to hop right into these questions. This first one from Tate Stollard. What do you think will come out tomorrow? Now, if you don't know, we only have 3 unreleased cars left, so it's kind of, it's a lot easier to narrow down, I guess, which ones are going to be coming. And the 3 we have are the Night Shark, the XA21, and the Ardent. Now, we know that the Night Shark, actually, the picture of the Night Shark on the Warstock Cash and Carry website comes before the Ardent. So that means the Night Shark has to come out before the Ardent. So that leaves us with 2 options for tomorrow, either the Night Shark or the XA21. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say the XA21 is going to be the last car they release, just because I feel like they're saving the best for last. And that obviously would mean, in my opinion, the Night Shark is going to be releasing tomorrow, which is kind of weird if that is the case, just because the Insurgent Custom was last week, and the Night Shark is, really similar to it. It's almost like the little brother to the Insurgent. So it'd be kind of weird how they have 2 cars that are almost identical coming out, back-to-back weeks. But maybe they do release the XA21 tomorrow. I mean, that would be awesome, because we haven't had a supercar or a legendary motorsports car in a few weeks. So that would be nice, I think, and a lot of people would enjoy it, even though it is a lot of money. But that is my bet. The one that we know is probably not, I'm not going to say 100% not coming out tomorrow, because it's Rockstar, who knows, man. But like the Ardent, I don't think is going to be coming out, just because that is after the Night Shark on the website. So I guess that just means that at least we'll be getting a really decent car tomorrow. And then speaking of the Night Shark, Mubin, which is better, the Insurgent pickup or the Night Shark? Now, if the Night Shark does come out tomorrow, we can do some more testing on this, but for my brief time just driving it around, since a modder spawned it in one time when I was in free roam, I don't know, man. It depends on really what you're looking for. I wouldn't say one is better than the other, because each are better in their own aspects. The Insurgent custom pickup is good if you have a bunch of friends, since it can hold 9 people. And it's also good if you have a bunch of friends, because it has a giant gun on the top, which is awesome, if you want to go on super long police chases, or if you just want to, mow down some other people in free roam. Obviously, you're not going to get that on the Night Shark, because the Night Shark doesn't have a gun on it. So, it really depends on what you're looking for. With the Night Shark, it is a lot faster, and it probably handles a lot better than the Insurgent pickup custom. So that's going to be a plus for it. But ultimately, it just depends on what you're looking for. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. Aaron, is it worth buying the Mark II weapons only if you have around 500k? If they're good, which 2 should I get? So honestly, well, at this point, I'd imagine most people already have the Mark II weapons, but if you haven't purchased any, the only 2 that I would recommend, and the reason, I guess, is because these are the only 2 I use, is the Thermal Explosive Sniper. And yeah, the sniper bullets do cost a little bit more, but it's so easy to use. If someone's aggravating you or whatever, you can just bust that out and easily kill them and be done with it. And then I would say the heavy machine gun. I don't know what it's called, but the LMG. Get that Mark II version, because it absolutely shreds in like the NPC missions. I use it all the time when I'm doing supply runs and stuff, and it tells you, or it makes me have to kill all the NPCs, because it's a one-shot headshot, and it's got a freaking 100 or 200 bullets in it. So it's really good. The assault rifle and stuff, while those aren't bad, they're just, for NPC stuff, I would say the LMG is better, just because it has more ammo. And the pistol, it's a pistol. No one, you're really never going to use it. And plus, if you have the Mark II version of the pistol, you can't commit suicide by shooting yourself in the head, which is kind of disappointing, I feel like. So I would say if you want to buy 2, go with the explosive thermal sniper and the LMG. Ethan with the next one. Do you think Rockstar will ever change focus from expensive to cheaper items to make online less grindy, or a need for shark cards? So I've actually been saying this for like years now. I don't know if it will ever happen, just because of shark cards and all that, like I always say with these sort of questions, but it would be nice. And maybe they just, instead of having everything in a DLC super expensive, maybe, in a DLC they have the super expensive items, but they also have the inexpensive items for the people, that don't have enough money. Maybe that's how they could sort of do that, because I think an entire DLC around less expensive stuff wouldn't work. And the reason that is not because, of Rockstar. I think a lot of people in the community wouldn't like that, because, they work their freaking butts off to get millions of dollars by doing the import-export stuff, the gun running stuff. And then I think it would feel kind of insulting if you made all this money and you're ready for the next DLC to come out to spend it, and the next DLC comes out and it's like nothing's good in it. It's all just for poor people, you know? I don't think that would go over really well because people want to spend their stuff on expensive supercars or expensive properties and stuff. So yeah, that's why I don't think they could do just an entire DLC around poor stuff, inexpensive stuff. But if they added that to the regular DLCs, that might be interesting. You know, I guess for example, maybe they had, you know, let's just say we'll use the last DLC, the gun running one for an example. Most of the bunkers are what, like 1.5 to 2.5 million dollars, somewhere in that range. Well, what if they had another tier, like a lower tier, where it was like 500k, maybe like 250,000 to 500k. Now these would be super worn down. They're not big at all. Like you can't even put an MOC in it or something, but it just gets you started into the business. And then, you know, once you had enough money, then you can maybe upgrade or something. But yeah, maybe they could do something along those lines. Or, you know, instead of having the super expensive, well, in addition to the super expensive supercar, they could have maybe a sports car or maybe another supercar that's just super inexpensive, but it's not as good for racing, but it might be good for free roam, you know? I don't know. That's just an idea, but will it ever happen? Ask Shark Cards, because that's what it's going to depend on. Sword, what do you think GTA Online will be like when Red Dead Redemption 2 is released? For example, how will the player base be? That is an interesting question. So what's going to happen when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out is a lot of people are going to pick it up just because it's a really anticipated game. It's Rockstar's first game since GTA 5, which has been what, 5 years now. So it's going to be pretty popular. Now, if it's a good game and if it has good online, that'll maintain itself for, you know, months probably. What's going to happen to GTA Online during that period is, yeah, there'll be less people, which actually may be good. You know, if you're not interested in Red Dead Redemption 2, then that'll be good for you because you could, you know, stick around in public lobbies and not have to worry probably about griefers and stuff. But there is going to be a noticeable difference, I feel like, for the first couple of months, because Rockstar, while they're not going to stop, like I feel like they're still going to keep releasing DLCs. They're not going to release a DLC like right when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out. They're going to wait a few months and then release it, you know. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. And in terms of the player base, like I said, it's just going to be fewer people and maybe nicer people, because all the griefers will move on to Red Dead Redemption 2. Ethan, do you think Rockstar will ever release a Tesla-like self-driving car? That would be awesome. No, I don't think they'll ever do that, but that would actually be pretty cool. Imagine like the Panto or something, some goofy looking car where you get in it and then you could mark a waypoint on the map and it just takes you there. It wouldn't be super fast. It wouldn't, you know, it would actually somewhat follow. It'd be like a taxi driver, I guess, because it would follow the rules. But that would be kind of cool. It'd be a pretty fun little gimmick, I think. It wouldn't be something you use all the time, but maybe you want to go make a sandwich or something. You're like, all right, I'm up in Toledo Bay. Let's go to the bottom of the map. Let's go to the airport. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then your guy's there, you know. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of neat. Jamie, what DLC is most likely? The zombie or aliens? At this point, I would say aliens, but neither of them because it's Rockstar. But they would work the same way. Like, regardless of zombies or aliens, it would just be what you're killing. I mean, aliens, I guess, may have guns because they're more competent than zombies, but that's probably the only difference. Then we have, oi, oi, if you could have one thing in GTA Online for free, what would it be? I would probably have to say, I mean, just the most useful thing, the CEO office. I mean, maybe that's, everyone already has one, I'm sure, so it's probably not going to mean much, but, I mean, if you could have, like, if you're a new player and you could have one thing for free, I would definitely say that, because there's so much that you can do with a CEO office. Let me know in the comments what you guys would want for free if you could have one thing. And then the question of the day, the final one from Jeremy, do you think that they are going to release another rocket-powered vehicle, this time like a boat? So we got a rocket-powered car, we got a rocket-powered bike that could fly, so what's next? The logical step, like he says, is a boat. And I actually thought about this because it actually fits so perfectly. If they want in the next DLC to release a rocket-powered vehicle, have it be the HoverBoat. I think this would work so well. It would be the rocket HoverBoat or something. Rocket-powered HoverBoat. I don't know what they would call it, but that would work so well because not only is the HoverBoat a boat that goes in the water, but it also works on land. So it would be just like the Oppressor in that the Oppressor works on land and in air. This one would work on land and in sea. And I think that'd be a really fun way. Yeah, I know the HoverBoat has like the giant fan or whatever on it, but maybe let's throw that one out. That's the old hoverboat. Let's get a new modern hoverboat with a jet engine in the back. That would be badass. I think a ton of people would like it. A ton of people would buy it. I don't know if there would be guns on it, because the Oppressor kind of has guns on it. So maybe this one has like a mounted machine gun on it that, you know, one of your friends could use. But tell me that doesn't sound like something Rockstar would do. And if they don't want to release another bike, a rocket powered bike or another rocket powered car, like I said, that's the next logical step. So that's what I want to do. But yeah, if you want to let me know in the comment section, what is one sort of vehicle that you want to see rocket powered in the next DLC? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.